de Ngo, secrétaire de la présidente. Bienvenue au 20. Il veut prendre le titre de Paul Biya. Incroyable ce jour. Alors, l'une des audios flûte donc.
En Afrique, comme avec vous, madame et monsieur. Rebonsoir à tous et bienvenue pour cette
3, 2, 1, go!
Ok, c'est bon. Bon!
Words and they were empty-handed. But unfortunately, as usual, this government came out with weapons, with tanks, with all the military equipment to face the population, which is very sad.
It's sad indeed, and we've just shown images of some of those who have been arrested, those who have been killed. Even journalists are not feeling safe. Journalists are not safe at all because a journalist was arrested today in Bamenda. So many Cameroonians believe that Issa Chuma Bakari is the rightful winner of this election. Many people are saddened, even in the comment section now. When I look at it, I see a lot of despair. People are not contented. How does the party of Issa Chuma Bakari and yourself as spokesperson of Chiroma as a person interpret this moment? Is it a political setback or the beginning of liberation for the people of Cameroon?
It is a step in this campaign. I would like to reassure Cameroonians, reassure the people that the fight is still on. It is not yet over. We are holding the line. We are still forging ahead because the voice of the people must be heard. We all saw what happened in this election, and we know that there is an issue with election integrity in Cameroon, and the whole world saw the technology is there. We have evidence. So Issa Chiroma Bakari is a fighter, and the fight is still on, and we are not going back. We will not relent until the voice of Cameroonians is heard, and the real person that won this election, that is the man Issa Chiroma Bakari, is sworn in and gets to Etudi Palace.
That's quite interesting to hear from you as spokesperson of Issa Chuma Bakari in the diaspora. Many people also see him as someone who wants to liberate Cameroon and not someone who is seeking the presidency. What is your interpretation?
Well, as Cameroonians, we know that all of us have been suffocating under this regime. The regime has been very hard on people, on all of us. 43 years is not 4 days or 4 months. 43 years is a whole life. We have been suffering from this regime. And so Issa Chiroma is a man who came, he does not have any personal ambition. He is indeed a liberator because he is a God sent, I would say. And all Cameroonians understood this when they arbitrarily cancelled the candidacy of Maurice Kamto. Issa Chiroma came in to occupy that space that was liberated, and automatically all Cameroonians from north to south, east to west, they followed this man because they saw a bold man, a man that came selflessly, and he said that this fight will be the last fight in his political life before he resigns. So Issa Chiroma is indeed that liberator. Issa Chiroma is someone that has come to trigger the courage, to trigger the boldness of Cameroonians, so that we can come out from this pit in which we have been kept for 4 decades.
Thank you so much for that clarity. So, given that the Constitutional Council has actually declared Paul Biya president, where does your party draw its authority from now? From the people, from moral legitimacy, or from both?
From both, because Mr. Biya doesn't have any legitimacy. He knows that he lost this election. In short, this man has never won any election in Cameroon, because since 1992, when Ni John Frunzi won and they overturned that victory, the people in Cameroon, all of us have been saying that we don't want this man, we want to unseat this man, because by that time the man already showed us that he was not fit for that job, for that office. So Issa Chiroma Bakari now is a man that will help us. Yes, the man has the legitimacy. The people are behind him. Almost all Cameroonians, I would say 80 to 90% of Cameroonians, they are behind Issa Chiroma. He has the popular legitimacy. And now they have sworn in a man that lost the election. He rigged the election as usual, and he cheated. He's a professional cheater. That is the reason why we are going to keep fighting. We are going to use all the leverages at our disposal to make sure that Issa Chiroma gets to the palace.
Yes, so yes, that's quite interesting, and I'm seeing a lot of people in the comment section are, asking about the way forward. There's been a lot of momentum from the protests to the sit at home. People stayed at home for 3 days. We saw a lot of people respecting that in some regions of Cameroon. How does the party and the FSNC plan to build on this momentum that we have been seeing in the past few days?
Okay, before I answer the question, I would like to specify that Issa Chiroma presented himself as the candidate of the party FSNC, but he now joined the platform. He complied with the demands of the platform Union pour le Changement, Union for Change in Cameroon. And Issa Chiroma was no more the candidate of his own party. He was a candidate under more than 50 political parties and then civil societies, organizations. So to answer your question and to the question of the people and Cameroonians listening to us, the way ahead is that Issa Chiroma will be sworn in. Everything is being done legally, politically, at the level of diplomacy. Everything is being gathered so that Issa Chiroma will be sworn in as the legitimate president. And we are going to unseat the illegitimate cheater that was sworn in today in that masquerade, because the Constitutional Council hasn't got any legitimacy. The Constitutional Council in Cameroon, like ELECAM and the Ministry of Territorial Administration, are all sections of the CPDM, and they have lost the trust of the Cameroonian people. So all the masquerade that they perform today, as they usually do, means nothing to us. What matters is the victory that Issa Chiroma won on the 12th of October. And this is what we are going to dwell on, to go ahead and do the right things.
Yes, also present tonight we have Mr. Ato Muchia. He is one of our, backbones. He's been following us very closely and encouraging us even from the background. And he was readily available today as soon as we called, and he has been very patient to also come and speak to Cameroonians. Mr. Ato Muchia, thank you so much for your patience and welcome again.
Thank you, Mimi. Thank you for having me. Always
Yes.
my pleasure anytime.
It's our pleasure as well. We've listened to Madame Amel Mbappe talking about the defiance, the fight for the people's will to be respected, not violence, in a peaceful way, continues, and that giving up is not an option. She also said that Issa Shiroma Bakari is going to be sworn in because the Constitutional Council has no legitimacy to declare who is winner of the election in the country. So what would be your reaction? First of all, how are you feeling today?
I'm not surprised by what happened in Yaoundé today. It's part of every illegitimate dictatorship to try and impose itself on the people. Like you rightly said at the beginning, this government has always used the army to force itself on the people. It's unfortunate that Cameroon's military is becoming the #1 enemy of the people, from what you showed, because Biya and Gongo and Atanganji have always preserved themselves in power by using the military. When we've seen in other countries, the military, like we saw in Madagascar, like we saw in Burkina Faso and other revolutions, have actually taken the side of the people. That's very unfortunate. But I'm not surprised by what happened in Yaoundé. It's the way dictatorships exist.
Yes, so the fact that Issa Shiroma Bakari is going to be sworn in, it's not something that we've seen in Cameroon before, and it seems like it's going to be a surprise and something new for the people. Madame Amel Mbappe just said that everything is being put in place to swear in, for the swearing-in ceremony of Issa Shiroma Bakari. How do you foresee this fitting in with the current political situation in Cameroon?
It's a good thing, because I'm here in the United States, where I would advise Cameroonians to read the U.S. Declaration of Independence, in which Thomas Jefferson said that the government derives its just powers from the people. And whenever the government abuses the inalienable rights of the people have the right to throw out that government and get an alternative government. Issa Shiroma has shown proof of control, which is what any foreign government would ask to recognize him. He called for ghost towns. It was respected nationwide. Paul Biya tried to use his authority, his preface, sous-preface, to counter the call for the ghost towns, and it failed. So Issa Shiroma has rightfully proven that he derives his just powers from the people. That is why Paul Biya called for elections, right? To get the permission of the people to be the president of the republic. So in every democracy, in every election, you're asking for the consent of the governed to be their leader. And Paul Biya failed, and Shiroma won. So, to Madame Mbappé's point, irrespective of what his Constitutional Council is saying or doing, the fact that Shiroma derives his authority from a majority mandate of the people, I think he should go ahead. The Cameroonian people just need to stay the course behind Shiroma. But whatever Issa Shiroma is doing is the way to go. The only thing I would add is that there is no amount of pacifism that gets rid of dictatorship. It does not happen. So this talk of peaceful, 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 as long as he keeps singing that peaceful, Paul Biya will be fine. He needs to unleash the people at whatever cost to get rid of that dictatorship. That's the only language dictators understand. George Washington knew that Americans were going to be killed when America started the revolution. Lenin knew that Russians were going to be killed but he went ahead with the revolution. Mao in 1949 knew that Chinese were going to be killed, but he went ahead with the revolution. There is a price to pay for freedom, and it would not come through pacifism. Never, ever. It won't.
That's interesting to know. I would come back to Madame Amen Mbappe. Many people are asking also in the comment section, what next? So we prepare for that. Is there going to be a clear roadmap for resistance, or are we still in the face of defiance, still observing? What's going to happen next?
What's going to happen next is that now that Cameroonians have taken on the streets and then they respected the ghost town declaration that Issa Chiroma made, the next thing is the swearing in of Issa Chiroma, and Issa Chiroma himself will take the floor to tell Cameroonians the various steps ahead. There are also legal procedures being carried out against these gangsters in Yaoundé, because you cannot kill people like that, civilians, because they demonstrated, and you go free. So justice is coming after these people, and Issa Chiroma and all the people working with him, the lawyers, they are visiting those who have been arrested. Many things have been done for the families that are bereaved, and Cameroonians should know that Issa Chiroma is a man that will never renounce. He's a man that has come out to answer, to respond to the aspirations of Cameroonians. It is a leader that is moving along his people, not that type of leader that Mr. Biya has been all these years. A leader that is absent, a leader that is heartless, that doesn't know what is happening with the people. So Issa Chiroma will set the pace and tell Cameroonians step by step where we are heading to.
That's interesting. So I also just wanted to come back to Mr. Ato Muchia to find out, would you want to respond to that as well? Because I see you saying that the pressure needs to go beyond speaking peacefully and, you know, just staying at home and marching outside. When you say the pressure needs to be more, what exactly do you mean? Because also I see a lot of people really saying there's need for caution. People should, you know, avoid a situation where there will be loss of lives. How do we, you know, some sort of balance between what you are saying and protecting also civilian lives?
I heard Madame Mbappe said Issa Chiroma is no longer the candidate of one party, which I think is a good thing. We need to turn this into a movement and not just a party. That's the first thing. The second thing Issa Chiroma has done is that he has cracked the military. There are some soldiers who are now loyal to him, and that is very dangerous for Biya. Like he said, he was led to safety by members of the military. Issa Chiroma needs to make a declaration and define or force the hands of those who are disgusted in the military to break ranks. Once there is a clear demarcation in the military or in the armed forces or in law enforcement that we have to choose, then that would be the beginning of the end of the Biya regime. You saw them yesterday, or was it day before yesterday, they asked members of the DGR to surrender their weapons before the swearing in. When the government is beginning to doubt its own secret service and disarming or demobilizing its own secret service, that tells me that the ranks are really, really cracked. Issa Chiroma needs to widen that gap or the crack in the rank and file of the armed forces, because that's Biya's last hope. That's his last bastion of survival. If he can do that, and if he can keep the people motivated and mobilized, I think with time. The thing is, we have never lived this. So Cameroonians think that this is going to be a week or maybe 10 days or maybe 2 weeks. We saw, for example, in Sudan, it took about 4 months of the Sudanese constant, pressure to get rid of Bashar. So Cameroonians need to know that this is for the long hauls and stop worrying about what is the next step. They just need to wait for Chiroma to give the next step, because you cannot put out a plan and think that your adversary would not seek to counter it. I don't know if I'm making sense. So we just need to stay the course, and Issa Chiroma needs to be unleashing or unveiling his plan step by step, but it needs to be aggressive and it needs to be decisive.
Yes, so yes, of course, you are saying something that is very important, because we are seeing, a lot of people saying that they are disappointed. Seems like they just wanted a change to happen as soon as yesterday, but because it's not happening, they are kind of asking what is going on. This is something that, would take so many weeks, months, or even years, like you have just said, because we didn't see that happening in just a day in other countries. And just to note as well that because of that impatience, we have been seeing a lot of Cameroonians, saying in the comment section that what is going to happen next. We are talking about over 40 years of dictatorship, over 40 years of a government that has been in power, arresting, jailing, killing journalists, killing actors of the civil society, and even opposition party members. So it's not something that giving up power is not something that is going to happen just in a day. And if you cannot be patient for just a few weeks after waiting for more than 40 years, then I don't really know how I can describe it. So we continue the conversation to ask Madame Amel Mbappe. We just heard Mr. Atom Mutia suggesting that there is need for, broader consultations with other actors that matter, so that the action can be general and widely felt. And I just wanted to ask you, are there ongoing talks with civil society unions or political parties to kind of form a united front for democratic change in Cameroon?
Yeah, of course. It is true that all Cameroonians are eager to come out of this situation that has lasted for so long. What I want to tell Cameroonians here is that there is a lot going on behind the scenes. There is tremendous diplomatic pressure, and also talks with civil society organizations, other political actors in Cameroon, though many leaders have been put in custody as we are talking now, but there is a lot of pressure and a lot going on. And I think that really there will be good news for Cameroonians soon. As also, I don't know whether maybe some people are here, they watch the video and they listen to what Eric Chinje told us yesterday and also today. So we need not to give up. We need to keep hoping, and things will happen.
Yes. I'll just continue with the conversation now to just find out about the human rights violations that have been committed. We've seen in the beginning, we talked about people being killed and others being jailed. What is being done at the level of FSNC, to bring justice for these people?
at the level of the platform, not the party, Union for Change, a list of about 50 lawyers was set up. I think that that list is available in some influencers' pages to take care of people that have been held, arrested by the police and the armed forces. Care is being taken, yes, for these people, because some of them have even been taken to the martial courts. We don't know why, since they are civilians, and some of them, like Anse Ekane or Professor Amba Oyono and Jekam Chameni, they were taken there to the martial courts. These people only spoke, they used mere words to express their political views, and they went to catch them in their houses and took them into custody. So that list of lawyers is available, and we also have a team of international lawyers, because these people that have committed crimes and violence, they will be held responsible individually, and that is the reason why the lawyers are keep telling them, when they receive orders that are illegal, they are not bound to obey to such orders. They need to think about their personal individual responsibility as they are carrying out their duties. So everything is being done so that no one will be left along the road to take care of those who are injured, those who lost their loved ones, and those who are even threatened. And there are many people that are still missing, because when they take people like that, when they catch them, they won't even tell you where they are taking the people. So lawyers are even going from police station to police station and all those places where they usually take people, to make sure that no one is left without care.
Yeah, it's so sad, Mr. Ato, to see that all these things are happening when people are just going out to protest peacefully. I just wanted to find out from you, if these repressive actions continue, what to you will be the alternative for the population of Cameroon, for the people in the country?
Well, at some point, right, as Nelson Mandela said, when the people have exhausted every legal recourse for justice, you know, they've used the elections, they've used free speech, they've used the media, they've protested peacefully, and the government continues to suffocate every legal and peaceful means, the people have a right to revert to violence. That's the only language dictators understand. It is not, and this is what started the war in southern Cameroon. Remember that the teachers and the lawyers resorted to peaceful recourse to address their grievances, and the regime came with a high-handed hand to suppress and oppress the people. At that point, the people had to defend themselves. I hope that the greater or the bigger La République du Cameroun would realize or learn from what happened in southern Cameroon. People have to, because
do you think that the people can speak the language of the regime? So you think that the people can speak the language of the regime more than the regime itself?
Yes. The people are 28 million. They need only 5 to 10% of that critical mass, and they would overwhelm the violence of a violent regime. I'm sorry to say, but I'll be very blunt. There is no other case in history, as you rightly said, a 4-decade entrenched dictatorship has never been removed from power in a peaceful protest. It has never happened. The Tunisian revolution took 28 days before they got rid of Ben Ali. Right? I pulled some up. Hosni Mubarak, it took 18 days of fierce revolution in Egypt. These people don't go away because, you know, they've suddenly got, you know, a Jesus moment or an epiphany, and then they just decide that, okay, it's time to go. No. So if we don't come to the realization that we are dealing with a very bloodthirsty, entrenched, evil, dark, satanic cloud hovering over that country, then we will keep thinking that we are dealing with human beings. We are not dealing with rational people. We are not dealing with people who have compassion or emotions or who care or who think right. Right? Even Kennedy, even President Kennedy of the US said those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. That is the principle of getting rid of dictators. I mean, when people like Mandela and John Kennedy lay these things out and we start thinking that we can reinvent the wheel, then we are not facing reality.
Yeah, because I'm trying to some sort of demarcate, you know, between peaceful protest or massive protest and violence, you know, like what happened in Burkina Faso, Blaise Compaoré. It was like a lot of people just went out and regime change happened. And we have also seen that also in the Gambia, where people just went out and Yahya Jammeh was, you know, was shown the door. So, and we've also seen cases where violence has not resulted in anything. So we are some sort of trying to, you know, give people like the right information that there can be violence and it leads people to somewhere, and maybe sometimes not, but massive protests could be another strategy. So I just wanted to understand where you stand, I mean, in terms of your thoughts.
The examples you have given is what I referred to earlier. The only way it worked in Burkina Faso and in Gambia and in Madagascar was that the military sided with the people. If you see the videos of Burkina Faso when Blaise Compaoré was overthrown, the military sided with the people. The same in Madagascar, the same in Gambia. If Issa Chiroma can force the hand of the military people who are fed up with the regime to side with him, the regime is going to collapse. If the military continues to protect Ngongo and Atanganji and Samuel Ayolo, then only violence would defeat violence. Only fire fights fire. So that's where we have to draw the line. The military would make the difference. If they join the people, Bia will collapse. If they don't, then the people have to fight. There is no other way.
Interesting. It's quite interesting to see, but that has only happened when we see a large, like huge crowd coming out. And in the situation of Cameroon, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that too much talk, but they are also not going out. I mean, just to go out, not to be violent, but just going out. We are not seeing Cameroonians really doing that. And we have the impression that many Cameroonians are expecting others to do it for them. Maybe Chiroma. I've seen some people also saying, oh, they want to also see Chiroma on the streets, or Cameroonians who are in the diaspora, they want to see them on the streets. We are not actually seeing many Cameroonians going out to really go out, you know. It's that massive protest that would also let the military into, you know, sympathizing with the population. And that's what we've seen in these countries that you've mentioned. I want to go back to Madame Amel Mbappe to ask her, I wanted to ask you, what kind of Cameroon is Issa Chiroma Bakary envisaging? I mean, economically, politically, because you said it's going to be sewn in. I'll be finding out from you how the swearing-in ceremony will take place, because Cameroonians are interested to know, even though you might not go into a lot of details, because we want to wait and see how it unfolds. But what kind of Cameroon is Issa Chiroma Bakary promising, and the platform that he belongs to? planning to offer to the Cameroonian people, politically, economically, and even socially?
Okay, politically, economically, socially, and in all other areas, what Issa Chiroma Bakary would do for Cameroonians is to, first of all, to make Cameroon a normal country, because now Cameroon is abnormal. Everything is upside down. Everything has been destructured with this long-standing dictatorship. So, and Issa Chiroma has stretched his hands to all Cameroonians, including the diaspora, the competencies at home, and unfortunately, about 6 million Cameroonians are now scattered abroad in all nations, in Africa, in Asia, in the Americas, and in Europe. But Issa Chiroma, as a leader, is coming now to join hands with all Cameroonians from all social strata, from all tribes, from north to south, east to west. And that is the reason why his campaign trail went everywhere in Cameroon to tell Cameroonians that after this dictatorship is unseated, Issa Chiroma will work with all Cameroonians, because we need every Cameroonian to be part and parcel of the process. Many Cameroonians have been left by the roadside. Many Cameroonians are frustrated. Many of them were not taken notice of. They felt ostracized. But Issa Chiroma is coming to work with all Cameroonians, and this is very important to bring the nation back together, so that each and everyone will feel as a member of that national community. Each and everyone will bring something at the table, and all of us will enjoy the benefits of what will be done. So Issa Chiroma will bring social justice, and we have had enough of this, the way this Paul Biya's governance was doing things. That is favoritism, corruption, giving position only to the people from this side or that ethnic group, and so many uncomfortable things were happening in this dictatorship. We want this to end, because Cameroon is for all Cameroonians. Cameroon is for all her children, and that is what Issa Chiroma is proposing as a social project to all Cameroonians.
So Ms. Dato, what is your message to members of the international community, especially those who congratulated the regime of following, even after the evidences of fraud and election malpractices that we portrayed throughout this process, and we also saw?
I wouldn't bother much about these congratulatory messages, right? The international community behaves with a certain decorum and a certain protocol. When you are accredited to a country, you don't directly get involved in the internal affairs of the country. If there is any statement, that would come from the home government or something, because geopolitics is different, right, than national or local politics. To them, it's about interest. It's about who is in charge, right? You still see Trump traveling to Korea to meet with Xi Jinping, but America and China are at odds. So these things don't really matter. They would reflect what the Cameroonian people do and what the Cameroonian people fight for. So I wouldn't congratulate Biya all the one from the embassy level. We didn't hear that any head of state took up their phone and called Biya, which is the customary way that, high-level diplomatic power countries do these things, right? Putin would actually pick up his phone and call Trump to congratulate him, or Trump would pick up his phone and call Stirner in the UK and congratulate him. None of that has happened. So what is really going on is really lightweight, diplomatic decorum. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, lightweight is the key word. And even when we saw the statement of the U.S. Embassy in Yaoundé, they said that they were congratulating President Paul Biya for his inauguration, not his election. And when you look at the message and compare that to the messages that the U.S. wrote and sent to the regime in 2018 and in previous elections, you see that there's a lot of difference in terms of the wordings and everything. But also I wanted to find out from you, do you believe that international pressure can actually influence events in Cameroon at the moment? Because at some point people were also expecting that the international community can change some things.
No, it cannot. Paul Biya has proven that outside pressure, as long as it does not transcend the borders of Cameroon, doesn't bother. Paul Biya has been there for 40 years. He's not moved by international. Before on several other key important issues, like the problems in going on with the Anglophone Southern Cameroon section of the country, he didn't yield. There were other senior political heavyweights who were thrown into prison. People like Edouard Titus, pressure came. He didn't yield. So he has proven that these things don't bother him. International pressure would not do anything to Biya. He's that insulated.
Madam Amel, you are a spokesperson for Issa Shiruma Bakari in the diaspora, and we've also seen a lot of things happening at the level of the diaspora Cameroonians in different parts of the world, reacting differently, standing together, mobilizing, holding meetings upon meetings to ensure that the people's will is actually respected. How can the diaspora and Cameroonians who are abroad support this struggle meaningfully? Because I've also seen some questions in the comment section, people asking how they can support.
Okay, the diaspora has been very important and vocal in the situation that is happening in Cameroon. They organize demonstrations all over Europe, in America, and even Asia to support our people back at home. And many other actions have been taken. Money has been raised to help supporting those who are on the ground in Cameroon. So many influencers and political leaders, they took upon themselves to organize all that, so that people that are there on the ground will not lack food or water or any logistics that they need to carry on the fight. So the diaspora is very important as a component in this fight that is being carried out.
Oh yeah, yes, I had a bit of mix up there. We also are having millions of Cameroonians having in despair. The disappointment is huge. A lot of people saying that they are so disappointed, they feel so sad. Others are even not hopeful. There's a lot of uncertainty. What is your message to them, Madam Amel Mbappe, before we go to Ato Mucha?
Okay, my message to them is that they should not give up their hope, because the fight is not over, as I said before. We are still fighting. We need to fight to the end. It is not easy. We don't know how long it will last, but we need to keep on going and put in everything that we can put, so that and make sure that these people go, because they know that Cameroonians have rejected them since 1992. They are not loved by Cameroonians, and you can't force a governance on people that don't want you. And their record is even so catastrophic, is so bad, that I don't know the reason why they cling to power. It is only because they want to have enjoy those privileges. They want to keep embezzling the money, and they are there occupying positions and producing nothing. They deliver nothing, no results. So we need to take our country back, and if we want it back, we need to fight. We need to fight. Each Cameroonian must be a fighter, because it is not a responsibility or a fight that only one man, Issa Chiroma, can carry out. Issa Chiroma needs all Cameroonians, and we need to set up our minds that we will fight to the end. We need to press to the end, no matter where we are, because the fight is going on social media. The fight is going on the ground everywhere. We need to keep sensitizing and strengthening each other, and making sure that we fight all together massively to the end. That is the only thing that will make a difference, because less than 500 people that they cannot face the more than the about 40 million that the Cameroonian population constitutes. So let us set up our minds to fight, to push on, to carry on until we get to the expected results.
So do you can you assure the thousands of people watching tonight that there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel?
Can you take it?
Yes. So can you assure the thousands of Cameroonians watching tonight that at the end of the day, there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, and that Cameroonians or Cameroon will be free at last from dictatorship?
Yes, Cameroon will be free. We can be sure of that. Cameroon will be free indeed, because it is as it was said here, unseating or toppling such a fierce and strong dictatorship is not an easy task. We need to fight. We need to use our inner strength to carry on with this fight in our families, everywhere we are, because it is our destiny that is at stake. It is the future of our children. If we want to have a country where all of us are free, all of us have freedom of opinion, we are free.
Nous sommes déjà presque arrivés à la fin de cette édition spéciale, l'une des chaînes sociopolitiques. Alors, bienvenue donc pour la prochaine. Bam!